Ranjana Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jai Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Jai Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Gauranitai, 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 Jaya Gauranitai. Jaya Radha Madan Mohan, Radha Madan Mohan, Radha. Jaya Jagannath, Jaya Jagannath, Jaya Baladev, Jaya Subhadra. Jai Jai Prabhupada, 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 Prabhupada. Nitai Gaur Haribol, 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 Haribol. Jai Vishnupad Paramamsa Parivrajakacharia Stotra Sata Sri Srimad His Divine Grace Srila Bhai Charanarvinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Jai Vishnupad Paramahamsa Prevrajagacharya Stotra Sata Sri Srimad Divine Grace Shri Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Shri Prabhupada Ki Jai Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai Namacharya Shri Haridas Thakur Ki Jai Prem Se Kaho Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai Sri Sri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Shyama Kunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhan Ki Jai Rajabhumi Sri Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai Navdeep Shri Mayapur Dham Ki Jai Purushottama Kshetra Shri Jagannath Puri Dham Ki Jai Ganga Ma Yamuna Mai Ki Jai Vrinda Devi Tulasi Maharani Ki Jai Shri Harinam Sankirtan Ki Jai Srila Prabhupada Chancellor Book Distribution Ki Jai The Most Merciful Lordship Shri Shri Radha Madan Mohan Ji Ki Jai The Most Merciful Lordship Shri Shri Gaunithai Ki Jai The Most Merciful Lordship Shri Shri Jagannath Baldev Subhadra Maharani Ki Jai Granthara Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Jai Samaveta Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai Nitai Gaur Premanande All glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories, all glories, all glories to Sri Guru Gauranga, all glories to Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrutyam Naram Shaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraye Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavatir Uttamasloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki. Today we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, Chapter 18, entitled Prithu Maharaj Milks the Earth Planet. Text number 30, 31 and 32. That would be the end of the chapter. 32 has the purport, so I'll read 30 and 31 myself, and 32 will read together. Atasmin Bhagavan Vainya Prajanam Vruddhidapita Nivashan Kalpayam Chakre Tatra Tatra Yatarhataha. To all the citizens of the state, King Prithu was as good as father. Thus he was visibly engaged in giving them proper subsistence and proper employment for subsistence. After leaving the surface of the globe, he earmarked different places for residential quarters inasmuch as they were desirable. Shri Shri Gaunithai, Shri Shri Radha Madan Mohan, Shri Shri Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Maharani Ki Jai. Text 31. Graman Purap Pattanani Durgani Vividhani Cha Ghoshan Brajansa Sibiran Akarnan Khetakarvatan. In this way, the king founded many types of villages, settlements and towns, and built forts, residences for cowherd men, stables for the animals, and place for the royal camps, mining places, agricultural towns, and mountain villages. Text 32, which we shall read together. Prak Pruthor Iha Naivaisha प्राक्पृथोरिह नैवैषा पुरग्रामादिकल्पना पुरग्रामादिकल्पना यथा सुखं वसन्ति स्म यथा सुखं वसन्ति स्म तत्र तत्रार्कुतो भया तत्र तत्रार्कुतो भया प्राक्पृथोरिह नैवैषा प्राक्पृथोरिह नैवैषा पुरग्रामादिकल्पना यथा सुखं वसन्ति स्म तत्र तत्रार्कुतो भया प्राक्पृथोरिह नैवैषा पुरग्रामादिकल्पना यथा सुखं वसन्ति स्म तत्र तत्रार्कुतो भया प्राक्पृथोरिह नैवैषा पुरग्रामादिकल्पना यथा सुखं वसन्ति स्म तत्र तत्रार्कुतो भया प्राक्पृथोरिह नैवैषा पुरग्रामादिकल्पना यथा सुखं वसन्ति स्म तत्र तत्रार्कुतो भया प्राक्पृथो हि नैवैषा पुरग्रामादिकल्पना यथा सुखं वसन्ति स्म तत्र तत्रार्कुतो भया प्राक्पृथोरिह नैवैषा पुरग्रामादिकल्पना यथा सुखं वसन्ति स्म तत्र तत्रार्कुतो भया. Any Matajis? Prak, before, Pruthoho, King Pruthu, Iha, on this planet, Na, never, Eva, certainly, Esha, this, Pura, of towns, Grama Adi, of villages, etc. Kalpana, planned arrangement. Yatha, yes. Sukham, convenient. Vasantisma, lived. Tatra tatra, here and there. Akuta bhaya, without hesitation. Purport, translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Translation. Before the reign of King Prithu, there was no planned arrangement for different cities, villages, pasturing grounds, etc. Everything was scattered, and everyone constructed his residential quarters according to his own convenience. However, since King Prithu, plans were made for towns and villages. Please repeat. Before the reign of King Prithu, there was no planned arrangement for different cities, villages, pasturing grounds, etc. Everything was scattered, and everyone constructed his residential quarters according to his own convenience. However, since King Prithu, plans were made for towns and villages. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. From this statement, it appears The towns and city planning is not new but has been coming down since the time of King Prithu. In India, we can see regular planning methods evident in very old cities. In Srimad Bhagavatam, there are many descriptions of such ancient cities. Even 5,000 years ago, Lord Krishna's capital, Dwarka, was well planned, and similar other cities, Mathura and Hastinapura, now New Delhi, were also well planned. Thus, the planning of cities and towns is not a modern innovation but was existing in bygone ages. Thus end the Bhaktivedanta purports of the 4th canto, 18th chapter of Srimad Bhagavatam, entitled Prithu Milks the Earth Planet. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Svapadantikam Vancha Kalpatarobhyasya Kripa Sindhubhe Vacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabho Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Mukam karoti vachalam pangam langaite girim et kripatamaham vande Shri Gurum Dinatarinam. So it's mentioned here, to all the citizens of the state, King Prithu was as good as a father. Thus he was visibly engaged in giving them proper subsistence and proper employment for subsistence. So this is one of the most important duties of a king, according to Srimad Bhagavatam, as established by Prithu Maharaja's reign, that everyone in the state must have sufficient food to eat, and the sufficient food is earned by their employment. A proper employment has to be established by the king, so that everyone can respectfully earn their livelihood. In general, people don't want to beg and live. That's not, even if somebody is poorest of the poor, that's not the tendency of general human beings. There will be some exceptions, always will be there, but generally people want some respectable income. The respectable income will come from a proper employment created by the king. So if any government does not create proper employment, they are a failure. So, here it is said that King Prithu, first of all, he made the whole earth give sufficient food to all kinds of living entities. So we have heard from many verses previously that how all these different kinds of living entities, they have sent their representative as a calf to get the milk from the Mother Earth. So in this way, everyone is happy. So, so this is the prerogative of anyone who rules, whether someone is a king or whether someone is administrator in a democratic government, or whether someone is a leader. For example, if a family man, if a family head, if he does not support his family members' livelihood, then he is not a proper family head. So the men have to work, they have to earn money, and then they have to bring that money and then take care of the family members. In Kali Yuga, it has become so very difficult for people to even maintain family, because in the cities like Hyderabad or big cities, both men and women, both of them have to work for them to sustain in these big cities. It's very unfortunate. But that's not the duty of a man. A man has to earn livelihood and bring it for the family members. So, how does it happen? So, the Vedic method of creating economy in this world is by increasing the Brahmanas. That may seem very outrageous for the modern generation. Because the Brahmanas, what they do actually is that they create auspiciousness in the state. They actually conduct yajnas and they bring rains. And when they bring rains, there is so much of vegetation, so much of production of grains. And that is how the state becomes very, very healthy, economically healthy. That's a Vedic method. And then all the other trade is based on this grains, production of grains and the minerals, the gold. If you see in this purport, he has earmarked different places for residential quarters of general people, and for royal people to live in a different place, and for where the mining can be done, so that there will be production of different metals. In this way, the wealth of the state can be increased by proper planning. So, great kings like Prithu, they had this intelligence to construct different things at different places. This is a proper way of increasing the wealth. But no matter how much you increase the wealth, if your citizens are rascals, you'll always be in a deficit. They are cheating, they are crooks, and they are, they are accustomed to taking bribe. Then how much wealth you can create? Actually, there is no dearth of wealth today. There is enough wealth is there in this society. It is maintained by God. God's creation. God is the Sarvaishwarya, Shadaishwarya Bhagavan. He has unlimited wealth, and this whole material creation is his family. So, someone who has unlimited wealth, will there be any dearth of anything in this world? There is nothing. No dearth at all. Ishavashyam idam sarvam yachkintya jagatyam jagat. The problem is this. The problem is people who want to usurp the property of others in various cheating methods. That is the problem. Otherwise, there is enough food for everyone. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Everything is full, Purnam. This material world is also Purnam. How can you say this material world is also Purnam? Although there are so many sufferings are there. It is said, the material world gives us an opportunity to get rid of this repeated birth and death cycle and then go back to Godhead. So that is why it is Purnam. It offers you facility. And it offers such a facility while, as Prabhupada said, you can be happy in this life and go back to God. It's not that you have to suffer in this life and then go back to God. You can be happy in this life. But you can be happy in this life if you are disciplined by the Vedic rules. Don't usurp others' property. Whatever is given to you, be happy with whatever Krishna has given to you. Krishna has given to you sufficient. Even if he is punishing you because of karmic reactions, still he will give you sufficient food. Isn't it? The criminals in the jail are not given food. Even though they are number one criminals, or somebody must have killed hundreds of people, but if he is put in the jail, he will still be given food. If a normal judicial system can provide such a facility, what to speak of God's creation? So, you are being a criminal, you are being a very nasty man is not a problem for God to give you food. So there is actually no problem with food. Everybody has sufficient food, provided one person does not snatch away the food of other person. So, even though you have many Vedic scholars or the rishis or saintly persons in the state, if the king does not discipline these rogues and thieves, there will always be a problem. But today, our present situation is, the king himself is a thief. What can you say? Huh? We say in Telugu, Kanche chenu meste. The fence itself has eaten the fodder or whatever. What can be done? It's there in the Bhagavatam that the kings will become plunderers. In the name of tax collection, they become the plunderers. Now we have this GST. For everything there is GST. Somebody is selling, somebody is buying, both will be taxed by the government in the name of GST. Why did they bring GST? Because people were not properly paying taxes in the previous governments. So they have to forcefully put GST for every sale consideration to increase the economy of the country, so that the developmental activities can take place. But the only problem with the present society is that they are not actually focusing on educating people to be gentlemen. That is the problem. No matter whatever you do, as long as the character of people doesn't change, there will always be a problem. And our unfortunate thing is, our present educational system is so designed that everyone will become number one rascal with the present educational system. They are systematically taught how to beg, borrow, steal, stab, but live. That is how the present educational system is geared up. No moral values, no character ethics. These things are seen as, some useless things. Good for nothing people are interested in these things. Smart people are not interested. They don't waste time in learning all these things. They're always interested in how to go ahead. And how do you go ahead, sir? I'll trample upon the rights of others and then go ahead. It doesn't matter for me whom I am trampling upon. It doesn't matter. After all, he is an unfortunate fellow. What can I do? I am in a competitive world. Even if I am walking on the dead bodies of others, still I have to go and search for my, pursuit. This is the modern education system. In other words, from the beginning the modern education system is gearing you up. Who is the best amongst you? Who is the best amongst you? There's a group of people in the classroom. Everybody tries to climb on the others, and then they are looking for who is actually climbing the tallest. How you are climbing doesn't matter. You may be climbing on the shoulders of others. Who is the best? Who is the best? This is the modern education system. That is why we are a failure. As a world, we are failure. As a country, we are failure. Then what should be the system? Instead of finding out who is the best, find the best in everyone. That is the Vedic educational system. There is a best in everyone. God has created everyone with a certain ability. God is not an unintelligent man. You know who is unintelligent? Unintelligent people are those who make duplicates. They are called unintelligent people. God did not make anyone duplicate. Anyone. Exactly, looking alike. Twins are also not same. Because their consciousness may be different, their aspirations may be different, their, different things that they aspire for may be different. So God is not an unintelligent person. That means what? God has created everyone with a purpose. And if you bring out that purpose, that is the best of that person. And Vedic education is meant for bringing out the best in everyone, so that with that best, he can actually do service to God, or he can do service to the humanity. That's the whole idea of creation. Utilizing the best that God has given to you for the service of God, so that you earn an opportunity to leave this world successfully and go back to the spiritual world. That's the whole purpose behind creation. And not knowing this purpose, people are thinking you are discarded, rejected, you're useless. We are only interested in the the best people. And what is your evaluation system to find out who is the best? That itself is a very bad thing. Whoever can manipulate, whoever can search better. Today the evaluation system is whoever can search better. Whoever can procure information, search information and procure information better, he is considered the best. That means the expert Google searchers are called best men in this world. Isn't it? How fast you acquire information and how fast you can produce that information. Whether or not, whether you remember the information, whether you digest and realize the information, it doesn't really matter. You just have to reproduce information as quickly and as relevantly as possible, and you are considered as the best man. This is a useless evaluation system. Evaluation, proper evaluation is whether you are true to what you say. That is a proper evaluation. Whatever you are doing, are you putting your heart and soul in it? Whatever that you may be doing, that is a proper evaluation system. So where is such evaluation system? First of all, educational methodology itself is wrong. The society is so much pushing the people to do those things which earn a lot of money. For example, if there are no proper employment for all classes of people, proper living conditions are not provided for people according to whatever that the capability, skills that they have. Why should the software people should get 1.5 lakh, 2 lakhs per month salary, and why a daily labor should get only 5,000, 6,000 per month? Why is such a big difference in the in the salary? How less this man is doing, how great that man is doing. After all, that man is doing the software program for how to break regulative principles. Isn't it? All the software programs are what? How to capture your mind from, to get attracted to various different things. Oh, there's a whole lot of things it is. Different games are being, made by these software programmers. And how fast you can transact, how cheaply it can be, cheating can be done over the internet. All these programs are produced by the software professionals. So that means a simple daily labor, he works hard very much, and then he doesn't get more than 6,000, 7,000 rupees. But this man gets 2 lakh. See, please don't misunderstand that I have any problem with software employees. Please don't get me wrong. I'm just giving an example. Or managers. Today, managers get a lot of money. People who can manage. But what is management in modern terminology? Management means cheating others without their knowledge. That is called management. That's exactly called management according to modern, understanding. Till the time he realizes that he is being cheated, you will manage him. The moment he feels that he is being cheated, he will leave the company and go to be managed by another man. Yet to be found that he is being cheated. So in this way, he goes on. Brahmande brahmite kone bhagyavan jeev. This is durbhagyavan jeev. This is not bhagyavan jeev. Brahmande brahmite from one company to another company, only to realize that in every company, the same thing is going on. What is that? Cheating and cheating and cheating and cheating. So these people are paid a lot of money. An honest laborer, an honest man in this world, it's very difficult to maintain a family for an honest man. So this kind of division, this kind of, improper, there is the, improper engagements or the financial considerations for people. In some jobs they have a lot of money, and in some jobs there is less money. So naturally people will all aspire for such jobs only. Today our education system, after 10th class or intermediate, people are always oriented towards NEET exam, IIIT exam, or whatever it is. This is do you see anybody who is taking HEC, CEC or an MEC or whatever it is? Hardly you'll find. Once you fail in this, you'll finally. The worst of the lot will be, aiming for this. And amongst them also, the worst of the lot will become what? Be teachers. This is another nonsense thing that is happening. If you cannot become an engineer, a doctor or a professional, then finally you'll end up being a teacher. So, according to Vedic standard, the best person should be the teacher. Brahmajnana iti Brahmanaha. Only Brahmanas were teachers, not even Vipras. Because Vipra is not a fully realized man. Veda Pata Bhavet Vipraha. He is not a fully realized man. Only Brahmanas, because Brahmanas are realized people, they are supposed to be the teachers. So how do you expect educational system with people who are, unqualified for anything? They are only interested in a little money. So they abuse children. So obviously when the children are abused in the childhood, what kind of people they become when they grow up? Frustrated people. The only thing they know is how to exploit, because they have been exploited as children. So in this way, the whole thing is completely, messy. It is messy because there is no proper education. So the king must create such employment where everyone can respectably live. Everyone is respected for what they are. You think a daily laborer or a person who is doing some small things is any less than the man who has a lot of brain power to manipulate? If you have a brain power to manipulate, then you are nonsense. You have a brain power to actually encourage people for a higher thinking, then you are a good man. But unfortunately today brain power is being misdirected towards cheating people. That is the problem. And that brain power is paid so much and respected so much, so that you are encouraging everybody to go in that direction. So that is why a proper king means one who establishes a proper employment for everyone. Many of you may not know, today people are giving up the farming activity and the priestly activity. These two activities people are giving up very quickly. Even though their fathers or forefathers were farmers or the priests, today they don't want to become farmers or priests. Because you know why? Nobody is giving their daughter to them. That is why they cannot get married. That is why people are giving up these professions. You see, so important these two are so important professions. If everybody gives up farming, what will be there to eat? You have to import everything. Just like Singapore. Singapore is Sin City in one sense. Because, I'm saying it in a different sense. Prabhupada landed there and they did not allow Prabhupada to enter into the country. They just deported Prabhupada back. Obviously, no other country has done this. This is the only country which has done this. Obviously, you can imagine the kind of, mentality that people have. Even Prabhupada could go to Russia with saffron robes. But he could not go to Singapore. And if you see Singapore, it's a very small country. The most unfortunate thing is Singapore is glorified today so much. What is that Singapore has? They have no resources for eating. Everything they have to import from other places, from other countries. They have huge buildings in which they do trade. And mostly trade is based on software and another hardware, software things. Even the so-called, the technological instruments that they are selling. There is a place called Sim Lim Square in Singapore. I went there. It's a huge shopping mall where the best of the technology comes and lands there. Whatever is produced anywhere in the world, that technology comes and, lies there. That's Sim Lim Square. And even that technology is not produced by them. It is still imported. That means the electronic goods that you are selling is imported by some. It's not that you have a factory there and you can actually manufacture things and all that. So neither you are manufacturing machines nor you are manufacturing food. You are not manufacturing anything. Your whole subsistence is based on trade, importing, no exporting, only importing. Everything you import, everything you import. So this is what is, some of these countries are basing upon, and how their economic system will sustain. How will they support? Same way we are seeing Sri Lanka is in such a bad shape. Why is it in a bad shape? Because their administrators have messed it up completely. They didn't see the interest of the people. They have actually made millions of dollars for themselves and ran away from the country, leaving all the citizens in such a disturbed situation. Same thing is going on in Pakistan. Same thing is going on in various other places. So why? Because the administrators, they don't have a proper understanding of what is the right thing to do. Today, India is sustained to some extent to whatever it is during the pandemic situation. The expert economists say that India has sustained. Every other country has fallen in their GDP or whatever it is, but there is a systematic and steady growth in India's GDP or whatever it is, because of some decent leadership. Not that someone is a BJP man, we are saying. A man who is selfless is actually running the country. That is why you'll find some semblance of sanity in this world, in this country. So it's so very important who becomes the king or who becomes the leader, because they have to make sure that everyone is treated fairly, respectfully. Fairness is very important. If you allow people to cheat others and then there is no punishment to the people who cheat, then there is no fairness in that. So that is why you can see Prutu's rule is the best. Why? Because he has made sure that even scorpions and snakes, they get their food from Mother Earth. The other day we discussed how Takshaka is the representative of all these poisonous animals. He became a calf and extracted milk from Mother Earth, which is actually nothing but poison, which was put in the snake holes. So someone can be that fair, like Parikshit Maharaj was so fair. How was he so fair? When Kali came to actually get spread in his kingdom, he said, you cannot spread here, you just go away. I cannot give you a place. But then Kali argued that I am your citizen, I am your subject. When I am your subject, you must give me some place. Then he has devised a means that wherever there is unnecessary accumulation of gold and utilize that money which is not utilized in God's service, then you can go and stay there. So he is so fair that he knew very well that Kali is very destructive, yet he gave a place for Kali to stay. So that is the fairness of a king. So, so it is said here that King Prutu, he has devised the whole earth planet, divided the earth planet into various planning, various things. That is, this is the place for the animals, this is the place for the human beings, this is the place for the royalty, this is the place for cow sheds and farmers, etc., etc. What is a cultivatable land? What is the land which can be where you can find minerals? It can be dug and find minerals can be taken out. All these things he has designed. So Prabhupada is saying this town planning is not a new thing. They call that Bangalore city is called the most planned city in India. Prabhupada did not refer to Bangalore in this. He referred to Delhi, Dwarka and Mathura. He didn't refer to Bangalore. Why he didn't refer to Bangalore? Because planning of a city is based on the temple, not based on sense gratification. The Bangalore city is well planned for sense gratification. But these other places, such as Delhi and other places, they are planned in such a way that there is a civilization around the temples and around the rivers. That is how the planning was done. For the ultimate benefit of people, the planning is done. So, otherwise, earlier, how people were, they were constructing houses wherever they want. Today, the governments are also, they have built colonies for people. It's all this is all coming from the original planning only. It's not the new idea. They actually refer to Bhagavatam, they can actually build much better colonies than the colonies they are building. So, in this way, the proper planning is required. And King Prithu, he has leveled the surface in such a way that everything can be planned properly. So still there are mountains and there are hills and other places. That is why it is said almost flattened it, he said. It's not exactly, absolutely flattened, but almost flattened. So in this way, we can discuss much more on this topic, because I just touched upon how it is not enough to create wealth in the society, but it is important to create wisdom in the society. It is important to create gentlemanliness in the society through proper education, spiritual education, moral education. If you don't create that, whatever wealth that you have created, all of that can be misused, and then people can still kill each other. Prabhupada said, by good fortune, you Americans have a lot of money, but if you continue the way you live, you're going to be you're going to lose all your wealth. Prabhupada said that. You better maintain your first class position by taking up Krishna consciousness. You're already wealthy. Now if you take up Krishna consciousness, you will naturally become world leaders. So in this way, leadership should be so wise. Otherwise they're going to create havoc for people. Don't blindly follow the leaders. See what they are standing up for. They are standing up for their own benefit, or they are standing for, then they are standing for your long-term benefit. You have to see. Because we are in a democratic setup. Democratic setup means, you have opportunity to choose your leader. But, if you can sell your vote for biryani packet and a glass of wine, what can you get? You will get third class leaders, 10th class, 4th class, 10th class leaders is what you get. So many things are there, but here we can appreciate Prithu Mahara's rule, how Prithu is so fair, and he's equipoised towards all the living entities and gave everyone their place. Any questions? I'd like to stop here. Comments anybody has?
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Puji. Very nice class. Puji, what I understood is three things I understood. First is it's the leader's responsibility to take care of the citizen properly. Then you also spoke about, even though the leaders are taking care properly, but if the citizens are rascals, then they will misuse the resources and still fight. And the third thing you emphasize about the modern education, how it is spoiling and going in the wrong direction. But I want to know about what is the role of karma here, because sometimes the leaders are best of the intentions and they try also best to uplift people, but sometimes people come with such certain karmas that something is destined for that. No matter how hard we try, they, at least materially, they live to that. Spiritually they may advance. And second is, also people's natures. For example, somebody whose psychophysical nature allows him to do a particular kind of, say, manual labor, like thelawala or this kind of thing. Even if we give him the opportunity to learn higher subjects, so he is that way only. So how to adjust these things when we are taking care of people?
Good, nice question. That is why Prabhupada towards the end, he said Varnashrama system is required. I've only done half. Prabhupada said 50% is the work that I have done. Remaining 50% is still remaining, he said. What is Varnashram? Varnashram means actually, not Varnashram means not that you have a farm and then you go and eat and sleep in the farm. That's not Varnashram. Many people misunderstand what is Varnashram. Varnashrama begins with Brahmanas. What Brahmanas do, they very carefully observe the natures of people and encourage them. They actually empower them to stand by what they are, gifted with. That is what actually the Brahmanas do. So, you are talking about karmic reactions. When we have karmic reactions, even though the leaders may have best of intentions, but still, what can be done? That's true. Karmic reactions are individual. You can't say whole lot has bad karma. There may be few people who will have bad karma. That means, you are willing to do good for hundreds of people. Few people may not get benefit of that because of their bad karma. But if your vision itself is bad, let us say, then even though there are many good karma people also are part of it, their karma is also getting spoiled because of the leader. So the vision should be good. Irrespective, you don't have to bother about. Prabhupada didn't bother about. Prabhupada gives a very beautiful example. I'll tell you what. You don't sit idle in the house just because there is rain. You take an umbrella and go out, even though you know that there is rain. In the same way, Prabhupada did not stop preaching, knowing very well that Kali is going to spread much more faster. He didn't bother about it. He attacked Kali. He went on to preach Krishna consciousness with the prediction that he has heard or he has received from his acharyas that for next 10,000 years, this golden period of Kali Yuga will be there where Sankirtan will be spread all over the place. Just see his vision. He has not become disappointed that Kali is going to be spread. So same way, a good leader should not worry about anything, any disappointing thing. Oh, this fellow is such a useless fellow, or this is a bad time. So that is why you don't refer to astrology, you don't refer to any of these things, because you know very well that you are doing best for the person based on Krishna consciousness. There is no such time like good time or bad time. Bad time is when you actually, are disappointed and looking towards negative things. That is a bad time, even though there is a good time. So for a devotee, he is an ever optimist. He is never interested in the negative things of this world. Otherwise, Prabhupada would not have preached so much and asked his followers to preach. So I hope that addresses the first question. It doesn't matter, what is the karmic reaction of people. You just keep doing your good work, and people who can be benefited, they will be benefited anyway. Otherwise, there will always be few unfortunate people will be there. We can't do much about them. Krishna is anyway there for them. Ultimately, Krishna is there as the father. He knows how to take care of all the living entities. The second point is that how different people have different abilities, how they should be engaged. Engagement is not a problem. Respect is a problem today. People are ready to be engaged, provided they are respected. That is why Prabhupada's comment is that a sincere sweeper in the street is much better than the Charlton meditator. Are you giving respect to certain professions? If you are not giving respect, whether you give money or not doesn't matter, but respect must be offered to everyone. then everybody is ready. If somebody is sincere in their endeavor, according to their psychophysical nature, they are doing there. They are not actually unnecessarily jumping and trying to do something else which is not their nature. They must be respected. Somebody wants to, I always say this: a farmer's son becoming a software engineer is not a great big thing, but a software engineer's son becoming a farmer is a big thing, isn't it? No. And you will not find that here in this world. A software engineer's son becoming a farmer. Will you find that in this world? You will not find this in this world. Because we are all cheaters. Huh? You will not find. I can bet on you. You will not find. You will not find a well-educated software professional or some a collector's sons. You will not find that. They are simple people, like they may become Hare Krishna bhaktas, but we find many respectable gentlemen's sons or daughters have become devotees. That is the only exception that we find in this world, because this is the best of all. But in general, you don't find that, because they are not, once they are into that, they are carried by their arrogance and false ego. They don't respect other professions. First, so the point is that the government has to give enough. Today, respect is coming by what? Money. So you give enough money to them, then they will also have enough respect. Or you reduce their money, these fellows' money. One of these you should do. One of these you should do. Then only there will be balance. But government is getting bribes from all these big fellows. So why will they do it? They will not do it. So that is why poor is becoming poorer, rich is becoming richer. Because of improper administration. So that is why administrators should be educated properly. That's why Brahmanas should be guiding them. Once that is gone, everything is gone. Brahmanas must be selfless. What can you guide an administrator if you are dependent on him? Chanakya Pandit said the same thing. Chanakya Pandit was given a big, huge mansion, but he rejected that. He said, if I take this mansion, I will have to dance according to the tunes of Chandragupta. So I will remain in this thatched hut only, so that I can tell him what is right and what is wrong. So today the intelligent class, they are becoming subservient to what? The mercantile class or administrative class. Actually, the administrative class and mercantile class, they are colluded and they are looting the intelligence of the first class men. That is what is actually happening today. So you can't expect a better society with this. So that is why intelligent class cannot be sold to any of these people. Intellectuals have to wake up. They cannot be sold to the people, to the mercantile class and the administrative class. Intelligent class, they earn respect by their knowledge, by their renunciation, by their detachment. That is intellectual class. That is an intellectual. Who is an intellectual? The one who can command respect, one who can be detached. He is an intellectual. If you want to know grossly how to identify an intellectual, these are the two most important aspects of an intellectual. Even as devotees, if we are running behind these donors and then dehi, what kind of intellectuals are we? We should command respect. People should come and then beg us to take their money for Krishna service. Not that we beg them, please, please, please. Then we are not intellectuals. Anyway, it's a debatable topic. If I heat up, then people get heated up. I don't want to get into that. I hope that answers it. Any other? Anyway, we have already crossed time. 9:20. We'll stop here. Thank you all very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Granthara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Samveta Gaura Bhakta Brinda ki jai.